All right, for this next section, let's go ahead and take the next steps and get ready to mirror our pattern so we can kind of complete our upper pattern. The only thing that I forgot in the last video is that we want to add allowance here in the back also, because this is going to be our seam. Okay, so in the back, I would go ahead and add 5 millimeters here. So go ahead, get your divider, measure out 5 mm. Okay, you have 5 mm there. Go ahead and measure that out. Score your line. And 5 mm is very generous. I like to be generous with these allowances whenever we're kind of first starting out. Really, you only need like 2 millimeters. But I find that students kind of come up short when we start to do it too precise in the beginning. Okay, here. And one other thing that we're going to do is mark this line here. Okay, you can see this is just like a little small notch that I've marked at the front of my pattern here, and we're going to cut this away. That'll help you find our center line later, so you'll see after we cut it. All right, at this point, let's go ahead and trace in this line so you don't forget to cut with this allowance. Okay, we're going to be cutting on this line, our blended line, to our 15 in the front. We are not going to cut this section between my 2 index fingers. We're not going to cut this. We need to leave this attached so that we can mirror the pattern. Okay, but we are going to cut here along the top line. So here we go, cutting this out. On this, it really doesn't matter where you start, but remember, we're not going to cut here. So I'm going to cut this little notch. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Okay, make that cut. Make my cut along the back. Okay, cut my top line. Take your time and cut straight. This is actually going to be the line that you see on the shoe. So if this line is a wavy cut, then your top line of your shoe is going to be wavy. So you don't want that. And you want to come across here. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is take your ruler, score this line, and an awl. Score that straight line that we have on the toe so that we can then take that piece from here and fold it over. Okay? So you can see that that's folded over. Now we're going to be able to mirror our pattern. So what you can do once you do this, right? So you can see that how you've left that attached. Okay? What you can do once you mirror your pattern, I'm just going to keep using this. This seems to be working okay. You want to hold it down so it's not moving. Trace this. Again, you are using pencil. I'm only using pen for visibility. Trace the back, trace the top line. Okay, so when you move this, you're going to have the other side of your pattern. Okay, cool. So there are some lines that we're going to want to transfer from here to here so we don't have to double cut our lines. So what we're going to do is cut a series of windows that are going to be in this piece. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing. I'll show you a little tighter here as we did before. And in here, we're going to cut a window that's going to be this shape. Okay, and what we're going to do is remove this area. And we're going to do that the same as we kind of did before. Every like 5 millimeters, we're going to keep on repeating that shape and cutting it out. And we're also going to do it along the back line here. We're not going to cut into the shape. Make sure you're cutting that little window with the shape out here. Okay? So we're going to cut 1, 2. We're going to remove those. And you don't need to draw them in like this. I'm only doing this so that you don't miss what I'm doing here. But I don't ever actually draw them in like this. I just cut them out. All right, so here we go. Get my X-Acto here. And you know what, let's go ahead and free this piece up. So at this point you can make a rough cut and just free this whole thing. So you can take it out. Great. So let's get rid of this paper. So now we're just dealing with this pattern, okay? And let's go ahead and cut this out. Let's get rid of all this extra paper. Okay, great. So we have that, and we're gonna go ahead and cut these windows out and cut windows out all the way along here until we get to the front. After that point, you will have those windows cut out, and what you will do is transfer those windows over here, trace the windows onto this side of the paper, and then that'll be it. That's all we'll need to have for next class. I'll send you a picture of what it will look like in the final in the group chat.